All right. So this my name is Giovani, and I will present it about uh, public relations assignment, which is the crisis communication and reputation management. Our group consists of Muhammad Firhan Ramadan with the last name triple one, Brian Fauzi Firdaus with last name 201, and me myself, Evan Giovani with the last name 197. Alright, so the first one will be the KFC shortage in UK incident. Uh, so rate the performance of the company against each of the items in the crisis communication checklist. So the brand's response was regarded as a masterclass in public relation crisis management, transforming marketing chaos into a brand breakthrough. By changing the letters from KFC to FCK, or mean FUCK, as if KFC is really in touch with the feelings of its loyal customers. Overall, KFC crisis reaction was successful in preserving customer faith and preserving the brand reputation. List three things that the company did badly and three things it did well in each of the stages of its crisis communication, which is anticipate, act, and appraise. So the anticipate things KFC did badly is a lack of preparation for supplier. The next is failure to consider the consequence of reliance on a single provider for a crucial research such as chicken. Next, insufficient proactive communication with public and stakeholders. And the things KFC did well is prior to the crisis, the corporation maintained a noticeable presence on social media, allowing it to efficiently engage with affected parties throughout the crisis, respond quickly on social media to customer complaints and inquiries, showing a proactive attitude to communication. And next, using social media to reach out affected parties and sustain customer trust. And the next is act. Uh, the things KFC did badly. First, lack of supplier expansion result in a higher reliance on a single provider and vulnerability to supply chain interruptions. Next, initial communication difficulties, such as answering consumer complaints and providing accurate information about the problem. Next, inadequate planning for the operational and logistical obstacles that develop as a result of supplier issues. And the next thing Skefshit did well is accountability was demonstrated and the customers were directly apologized to via social media and newspaper, avoiding the blame game with the chicken suppliers. Next, quickly respond to client inquiries via multiple Q&A sessions on social media. And the next is the incident was successfully turned into a positive public relation campaign, protecting the brand's reputation and maintaining consumer trust. And price. Things KFC did badly. First, the potential risks associated with reliance on a single supplier were not properly handled, resulting in a substantial impact on operations and customer experience. Second, initial difficulties in successfully communicating the problem and addressing customer complaints, which may have contributed to rising disappointment. And the next, inadequate planning for the operational and logistical obstacles that develop as a result of supplier issues, resulting in a large number of store closures. Next, things KFC did well. First, the incident was successfully turned into a positive public relations campaign. Second, accountability was demonstrated and customers were directly approached via social media and newspaper. Third, use social media to reach out to affected parties and sustain customer trust. The next, what could have done better? So the first step is to handle supplier concerns. KFC might have created a more comprehensive emergency strategy, such as expanding its supplier. The next step is KFC noticeable social media presence prior to the incident, as well as its successful use of social media to reach affected parties, were strengths that might be exploited further to better crisis communication. The next is crisis communication in PP or British Petroleum, based on the movie Deepwater Horizon. So the first one is rate the performance of the company against each of the items in the crisis of communication checklist. So the first one is identify stakeholders. PBS in the identification of key internal and external stakeholders during the Deepwater Horizon incident was adequate, allowing them to communicate with relevant parties. Next one is appoint communication lead. The company designated the spokesperson to manage communication during crisis, but the effectiveness of the individual's leadership was widely criticized. Next, training and education. BP's effort to educate employees and on crisis scenarios and procedures were not extensively documented, but it is known that that company conducted drills to prepare for unexpected events. Oh man. The second one is three things that the company did badly and three things it did well in each of the stages of its crisis communications. Anticipate, act, and apprise. Well, the first one is anticipate. The things well, the things done well is escrow fund. PP placed $20 billion in escrow as a down payment against the true cost of the disaster, demonstrated financial preparedness for the crisis. Next, renewal outlook. The company showed a willingness to embrace the failures of corporate social responsibility and a prospective outlook, emphasizing the potential for a renewal following the crisis. Next, crisis management plan. BP had a crisis management plan in place, as evidenced by their action following the Deepwater Horizon incident, indicating some level of preparedness. The things bad is proactive measures. PB's overconfidence and failure to recognize warning signs contribute to the Deepwater Horizon incident, indicating a lack of proactive measures to prevent the disaster. Next one is risk monitoring. The company failure to effectively monitor industry trends and early warning signs, leading to a lack preparedness for the crisis. Third one, leadership communication. CEO Tony Hayward's insensitive comments to reporters, such as, "There's no one who wants this thing over more than I do. You know, I'd like my life back," demonstrated a lack of understanding of the gravity of the situation, indicating poor leadership communication. Act. Financial preparedness. Same as the first one, BB placed $20 billion as a down payment of the true cost the disaster, demonstrating financial preparedness for the crisis. Renewal outlook, crisis management. The the things bad is crisis containment. BP's failure to promptly and effectively control the blowout and prioritize safety over expediency led to prolonged environmental and human consequence, indicating a lack of effective crisis containment. And the next one is reputational damage mitigation. The companies indicate crisis communication strategy failed to mitigate the reputational damage suffered, as it lacked swift and transparent communication and accountability. Next one is transparency. BP's poor communication in aftermath of the disaster compound their mistakes, resulting in damage to their brand and trust. And the next one is the things well renewal outlook. The company showed a willingness to embrace the values corporate social responsibility and prospective outlook. And crisis management plan. BP had a crisis management plan in place, evidenced by their actions following the Deepwater Horizon incident, indicating some level of preparedness. And post-crisis evaluations. BP conducted a debriefing with their team assess the effectiveness of their communication efforts. And the things bad is leadership communications. The CEO of BP Incentive comments to reporters showcased a lack of understanding of the gravity of the situation, indicating poor leadership communication. Transparency. The BP's poor communication is the main of the bad things of the transparency. And the next missed opportunities. PP missed opportunities to show leadership and compassion that will have helped men trust. And the last is what could have been done better. So the first one is proactive risk assessment. BP could have conducted a more thorough and proactive risk assessment to identify potential hazard and prevent the Deepwater Horizon incident. And the second one is crisis containment. BP should have prioritized safety over expediency and taken more effective measures to promptly control the blowout and minimize the impact of the crisis. And the next one is mine downfall, the case against Boeing. So the second picture here is the Lion Air Boeing 737 Max 8, which which the first accident of the Boeing 737 Max. So, Downfall: The Case Against Boeing is a Netflix documentary which released back in 2022. It examines the aftermath of the Lion Air Flight 610 and Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crashes, exposing design flaws in Boeing 737 MAX planes and a culture of profit over safety, directed by Rory Kennedy. Crisis Communication Checklist. Competencies: trying to cover up from the stakeholders and public. The clarity: Boeing trying to cover up the accident of two Boeing 737 MAX series. Consistency: Boeing is consistent in investigating the problem until the error has found. Control: working together with U.S. Federal Association to investigate the accident. The compassion: Boeing didn't want to give Based on the movie, Boeing didn't want to give compensation to the victims' families, but according to the news, Boeing did give compensation to the families, to the victim of families, to the victims' families, and they anticipate. Boeing First one is Boeing failed to anticipate the potential risks and design flaws in the 737 MAX planes. The company failed to prioritize the concern and perspective of key stakeholders such as regulator, airlines, and the public. Last one is Boeing initial response did not involve proactive and transparent communication with important stakeholders. Next is the act. Boeing's communication strategy during the early stage of the crisis was deemed reactive and insufficient. The company was slow to respond and failed to communicate effectively with stakeholders. Incomplete or unclear information has led to skepticism in some cases. Next, the company is taking responsibility for the situation and is focused on the safe return for service of the whole fleet. Boeing is collaborating with the U.S. Federal Aviation Administration to resolve the problems of the 737 MAX aircraft. And a price is Boeing failed to evaluate the effectiveness of its response or to learn from the crisis. The company's management of the crisis was considered a textbook example of what not to do in a crisis. And the next, Boeing disregard for best practices in crisis management was disappointing. And what could have done better? Boeing could have prioritized safety over all of all, like of profit and deception. Communicated more transparently with stakeholders and taken responsibility for its actions and learned from the crisis. And that's it from me. Uh, I'm Evan Giovani as the spokesperson from my group, and this is the presentation. Thank you.